It was past midnight when my world collapsed. I received a message from my wife that simply said, "We need to talk." My heart raced as I unlocked her phone, and what I found made me freeze. Hidden messages, secret calls, and a shocking image of her kissing someone else late at night. A betrayal I was never meant to witness stared back at me. Every fiber of my being screamed in disbelief. In that instant, my life, my trust, my love, everything I believed in, was shattered beyond repair. I am Ahmed, an ordinary man who once thought he had a perfect life. My wife, Zinat, was my anchor, my dream, and my reason to smile every day. I had always trusted her completely, never suspecting deceit or betrayal. Love made me blind, convinced that our bond was unbreakable. But the truth, as I was about to discover, was far crueler than anything I could imagine. The woman I gave my heart to had been hiding a life I was never meant to know, and I was about to see it all. For 5 years, we shared laughter, whispered secrets, and countless small joys. Our mornings began with tea and smiles, our evenings with long conversations, our nights with dreams of the future. We bought a home together, took small trips, and supported each other through every hardship. To me, our life seemed perfect, until that late-night message. That single notification shattered the illusion, revealing cracks I had never noticed. Every memory of happiness suddenly felt fragile, overshadowed by a growing dread of what I was about to uncover on her phone. Zinat had been under constant pressure at work, often staying late and seeming distant. I assumed her exhaustion was the cause of her silence, never suspecting anything deeper. What I didn't know was that behind her tired eyes, a hidden life had been quietly growing, one full of deception, lies, and secret encounters. The stress I thought was tearing her down was actually a cover for her betrayal. Slowly, signs of a hidden world began to appear, but I was too blinded by love to notice until the truth revealed itself with brutal clarity. The first warning signs were small: unknown calls, secretive messages, and sudden trips out without explanation. I questioned her once, and she angrily dismissed me. "You're imagining things, Ahmed." But the feeling of unease only grew stronger. Every instinct screamed that something was wrong. The doubts evolved into suspicion, and the once happy home began to feel tense and fragile. I realized our conflict wasn't just about minor disagreements. It was the first visible sign of the massive betrayal that had been hidden for months. One night, a trivial argument spiraled into chaos. Voices were raised, accusations flew, and long-suppressed anger finally erupted. I tried to check her phone. She shouted and resisted, and our fight intensified. Emotions ran wild: fear, rage, disbelief, all colliding. The home we once considered a sanctuary turned into a battlefield. Every word we exchanged intensified the suspicion in my mind, and I understood deep down that the love I thought existed had already been poisoned by secrets I had no idea were growing beneath the surface. In a moment of desperation, I grabbed her phone. My hands shook, heart pounding, as I unlocked it. There it was, months of hidden conversations, secret calls, and plans I was never included in. The full scope of her betrayal unfolded in front of me. Every lie she had told, every secret meeting, every deception I had been blind to, it was all there. In that instant, I realized there was no returning to the way things were. Trust had been destroyed, and the life I thought I knew was gone forever. Then I saw it, the image that would haunt me forever. Zinat kissing another man late at night, a moment I was never meant to witness. My chest tightened, my heart shattered, but I forced myself to absorb the truth. The love, the trust, the life we shared, it was all an illusion. Months of hidden deceit had been captured in one photograph, leaving me to confront a reality I could never ignore. The betrayal was complete, and the woman I loved had crossed a line that could never be undone. I sat alone, tears streaming, consumed by grief and anger. How could she do this? How was I blind for so long? Self-recrimination gnawed at me. Why didn't I see the signs sooner? Every heartbeat, every breath, carried the pain of betrayal. I felt trapped between sorrow and rage, unable to comprehend the life I had once trusted. The home that was once filled with warmth and laughter now seemed like a prison of lies. My world had been shattered, and I had no choice but to face the devastating aftermath. As I delved deeper, I uncovered the full extent of her betrayal: hidden calls, secret meetings, and chats she thought I would never find. It became clear that her infidelity was not a one-time lapse but a pattern that had been growing for months. Every hidden plan, every deception, and every lie was laid bare. The reality of her betrayal was undeniable, leaving me stunned. I realized the woman I trusted had been living a double life, and the truth was more painful than I had ever imagined. When confronted, Zynet initially denied everything. But the evidence was overwhelming, and she eventually confessed, her eyes filled with fleeting remorse. She tried to justify her actions, claiming she didn't mean to hurt me. But the damage had already been done. Her words couldn't undo the months of deception captured on her phone. Her attempts at contrition only highlighted the depth of her betrayal, making it painfully clear that our marriage had reached a point of no return. I left quietly, without a scene. My heart ached, but my dignity remained intact. I knew our love was gone, and there was no way back. As I closed the door, leaving her behind, I felt both relief and heartbreak. That night marked the end of our marriage and the beginning of my journey toward healing and reclaiming my life. Walking away silently was my only choice. Sometimes, the strongest action is not confrontation but self-preservation. Zynet tried to reach me, calling, texting, pleading with tears. I ignored every attempt. Each effort reminded me of her desperation but also reinforced my resolve. Returning to her would have been a mistake I could never forgive myself for. Her pain was a consequence of her choices, and I had to protect my own mental and emotional well-being. Her desperation became a mirror of the consequences she created, and I finally understood that I could no longer be part of her life. 6 months later, I rebuilt my life. Work, friends, and self-respect filled my days. Zynet no longer haunted my thoughts, but the lessons remained. I learned to trust my instincts, protect my heart, and value my own worth. Life regained balance, but the memory of her betrayal lingered, a reminder that love can blind, but the truth always emerges. I had emerged stronger, wiser, and determined never to allow anyone's lies to control my life again. Zynet eventually reached out, claiming rights and expecting me to return. I calmly refused, explaining that the choices she made had consequences, and I would not be part of her life. Her sense of entitlement revealed how little she understood the gravity of her actions. I had moved on, prioritizing dignity and self-respect, while she remained to face the reality of her own betrayal. My decision was final. The past was gone, and the future was mine to reclaim. From this experience, I want others to understand the dangers of blind trust. Betrayal always surfaces, and when it does, it can destroy everything. Protecting your heart, maintaining dignity, and walking away from deception are essential. Love without accountability is dangerous, but the lessons of betrayal teach strength, clarity, and self-worth. Trust wisely, observe closely, and never ignore the signs that something is wrong. The ultimate lesson: lies and infidelity have no place in a relationship. When someone betrays you, walking away is often the only path to healing. Life is too short to waste on people who don't value your love. Protect your dignity, honor your self-worth, and never compromise for someone undeserving. Betrayal, though painful, is a lesson, a harsh but powerful reminder to trust wisely and move forward without looking back.